Well, this is definitely more intense on the anxiety meter, but man, so it's been a while since I've made a video, and for good reason though. God's just had me working in real life instead of oh no, I think that making videos was more or less good practice for doing it in person, actually. Because I'll tell you what, man, like, learning how to tell my story and learning just what my story really was helped me to be able to share it with others who are still in the fog. Man, I had found that I could achieve everything I wanted financially, so it wasn't that I was missing the money that I was unhappy. You know what I mean? The lack of financial or the lack of material things wasn't the problem after I found that I could achieve that. So it occurred to me, well, then what was it? What was it that I was missing? Why was I still unhappy? It's because I wasn't living up to my potential. I wasn't living what I wanted to live. I was living to prove things to others. And that's not good. That is so not good. Because when we live to prove things to others, we live it from a negative connotation of, see, I told you. You know what I mean? That I told you so energy doesn't get us anywhere. Actually, it actually takes from us. Yeah, we can attain it, but it'll be taken from you because of that pride, because of that ego. Nothing, God can't be held in the presence of ego, right? So I quit my job and I went back to school. I went and got some certifications done. And now I'm a BHT at a recovery rehab center, man, where I get to work with people who are stuck right in that very same place where I used to be, man. Where telling my story matters. We're telling my story. We're being able to tell my story changes people's mindsets, changes, where I get to share astrology, all the things that I learned on the way, man. Like, God has so put me in the way. Like, now I go to work every day. Man, they could tell me I have to work a 16-hour shift, which they did. Like, I wasn't even unhappy about it. I worked 2 of them back to back, actually. I went home for 8 hours, went to bed, got back up, and went right back there, and I had no problem doing it. When you do what you love, and when you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. That is so true. I don't even know how to tell people that. But these guys have me thinking and using my heart so much that, like, man, they have me just thinking in whole different ways that, like, these guys are revealing things to me that I didn't even know were there. Just like, oh my gosh. So the way I've come to see people understand it is that this body, this place, this me, this vehicle is a lot of carbon atoms stacked up, right? Because this world is a carbon-based world. Everything in this world is made up of carbon. Okay? So you remember those sheets of paper that are like 3 in 1, like the white copy, the pink copy, the yellow copy, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's a lot of sheets, but sometimes there's only 3, But we normally use 3, right? Why? Why is it 3? That's funny. See, now just thinking about this, I'm getting into other things now. But there's normally 3, which is weird. But think of us as that piece of paper, that carbon copy. Okay, and God is creating us, literally inscribing on us, man, everything that we are, all that we are, there in that place where He is. And as He presses on the paper, we are projected further and further into denser and denser reality, into material. We are made manifest on the pages below, on the material below. And that's what we are. That's what this body is. It's a carbon copy of the soul that God is drawing there, of the soul that God has mirrored there, made there. We are that here. Man, I was thinking today that, 2,000 years ago, Christ came, and the Dark Ages happened. Then, the Renaissance happened. What is Renaissance? Renaissance is revival, right? Renaissance is revival. So a restoration happened. And then, here we are. I don't know, it just makes me wonder. And it's in our history books. It's there. Why don't we see this? Why aren't we taught this in school? Why don't we grasp this? Why don't church leaders teach this? You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's absolutely correct, but I'm saying there's something there. I don't know. Whew. The sun is bright. But, I'm just so grateful to be where I'm at. So grateful to be with the people that I have. And I didn't know that life could feel good. Man, I spent so long in my life telling myself, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that. And then I found drugs, man. I didn't feel anything, to be honest, I guess. Compared to now, man, I don't even know how I made it through all that and how people survived it around me. Sorry. But we can't project outwardly what we hadn't learned. You know what I mean? And parents can't show what they haven't learned themselves, so you know what I mean? We all become parents long before we learn how to be one. We all have our issues, no matter when we become a parent. You know what I mean? Unless we wait, which most people don't wait. Most people, we're all in a hurry. Too much of a hurry, man. And we forget to just take our time, that there's time. There's time later, you know what I mean? We don't, though our neurochemistry totally tells us that there's no time, there's time. There's always time. Time is like a dimensional reality all on its own. There's always going to be time. This time it's about forgiveness and acceptance and letting go. Regret, pain, anger, resentment, shame, fear, guilt, all that. If you're holding on to that, I highly recommend you let it go. Me, I let it go. I choose to let it go. I've been letting go for a couple of weeks now, but I didn't notice that that's what was happening, but I guess that's been happening for a few years, actually. It's a process, that's for sure. Give yourself time to go through it. But let go, forgive. And if you're holding anything against your parents or against relatives, siblings, because those are the people that tend to hurt us most, man. It's the ones closest to us because they're the only ones that can get close enough to us to hurt us that bad in order to get us to grow. So, forgive them. They did it for your own good. They mean well. Trust me, I'm sure when they realized what they were doing, They didn't want to do that either, but that's the only, you know what I mean? Like, we're blinded to our own stuff until it's way too late. I noticed my aunt, you know, I learned self-sabotaging ways from self-sabotagers. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize what self-sabotage was until I realized that, well, I had learned it from somewhere. And the arguments that I had with my family members and the arguments I had with my, you know, siblings and friends and stuff, man, they were all just to serve that purpose. They were all just to make me who I'm supposed to be. They were just to guide me along the way, just like guardrails on a bowling alley. Seriously, this place is so much more than the people around us, man. Even though we all have free will and we're all kept in a state of craziness by one side or the other, it's really nuts. Man, I don't even want to get into all that. This world's definitely amazing, though. Everything here is alive. Everything here is God. God is all. There is no evil in him. There's no darkness in that guy. He does not seek to beat us up and stuff. God is good all the time. God makes the sun shine on the righteous and the unrighteous alike. Even when we don't deserve it, he still loves us. Man, God, I forgive you. You know, man, that was a couple of days ago. God asked me for forgiveness. I said, what? What? And in that moment, I knew right within myself that you're right. I hadn't even thought about that, but you're right. I had held stuff against you for so long that it happened to me that I felt, man, you're God. You could have stopped that. You could have changed that. Yeah, I know you're real. You could have stopped that at any time, but you chose not to. So you too, dude. You know what I mean? I didn't even realize that I had done it. It's like we live lies without even knowing it. It's crazy. People do it all the time. But I don't know, people should remember, man, forgive God too. We forget that we hold things against that guy for allowing things to happen to us, like bad relationships, abuse in childhood, trauma and relationships, man, just everything. We forget to forgive God too, that it's, you know, not his fault either, that they were lessons that we chose to come here to learn, that we needed to learn those in order to heal things within ourselves, in order to make it back to that guy in the first place. You know what I mean? In order to make it back where we're going. Well, that looks like fun. I like riding wheelies down the road. That's what's up. In the middle of Mesa. I want to go next. But yeah. And so God our Father gives us a spirit, a soul, right? And our divine mother here, our earthly mother, Mother Nature, gives us a body. And the two together, like a man and a wife, right? A man and a woman. And the two together make life, right? So everything here is a mirrored image of the divine parenthood, of the divine parents. Everything here is we are all just children of the Most High. The divine mother, divine father. We're just sons and daughters of God, man. But it's by what we choose that makes us a son and daughter of the Most High or the Most Low. both are true. Both are seriously true. But it's by our actions and our words and the code of our conduct. That is exactly it. What are the fruits of what you do? That shit of show me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are. That's the real stuff. But we're so much more than what our governments or, just, man, we are so much more than what people would want us to know. That is so true. Hey, check out this orchid tree. Oh, this yard's pretty. Yeah. So, sorry, I totally haven't been putting out videos. I totally love to share what I hear when I get to put things together. Just jaw-dropping every time I get to hang out with that guy. But, man, I've been really, really busy in the real world lately. But definitely I'll have to make sure that I'm definitely coming back to share, because, man, like, this makes it to where it's there for the whole world and everybody can find it when their time is up, when their time's ready, when God's ready for them to find it. I'm sure God will bring it across the path and all's good, So, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know, it's really important to me anyway that I leave my piece of the puzzle so that others can connect it up later, because we don't always find it at the same time. And shoot, at least if I leave my piece of the puzzle too, then, man, maybe that'll inspire for others to leave theirs, and eventually, man, everybody will have the whole puzzle and we won't have to go through any craziness anymore. God bless you guys. May the Most High make His face to shine upon you.